We have plenty more.
Thank you, Brian. All right, firing back at those taking a knee. A fed-up police officer is going viral for putting what he calls pampered NFL millionaires in their place. You got to listen to this.
You have these people who turn around and take a knee and want to attribute all the negativity to the flag and the anthem, but don't want to attribute the positive. Listen, you play a game. This is fairy tale world. You suit up, you lose, you go home. You cry, you play another game. In the real world, real heroes, when they lose games, they don't come back. The people who die for that flag, it ain't a game. That's real life. That's real sacrifice.
And joining us right now is that Arizona police officer, Brandon Tatum. Brandon, good morning to you. Thanks for joining us today from Tucson.
Real, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Brandon, when we watch that video, it is so powerful. Clearly, you are agitated. Why are you fed up with the NFL players kneeling during the anthem?
Well, because I'm passionate about this country. I'm passionate about the flag. You know, I go out every day and I protect the citizens, and I'm willing to die for the citizens of this country. So when I see people disrespecting the flag, disrespecting the anthem, it makes me very upset, and I believe it's unacceptable.
You're a police officer in Arizona. You're an African-American man. You talk about that flag. What does it mean to you?
It means everything to me. It's sacrifice. I mean, this is an example of our forefathers, even African-American people who have fought so that we can have opportunities in this country to be free, to play sports, to do things like that. And it's a spit in their face to not honor the flag and to not represent it in a positive light.
Sure. Now, Brandon, last night at the Packers-Bears game, the Packers asked the fans to everybody link arms together as a sign of social justice and unity and things like that. It looked like about 95% of the crowd didn't follow that, though, and instead they had their hands over their heart. They sang along. What do you think of the fact that they're still protesting, but they're not kneeling?
I think it's, it's a cop-out. You either go all in or you just get rid of it altogether. I think that the American people are wise enough to know that the true unity is when you put your hand over your heart and you stand up for the flag and you respect this country.
Absolutely. I mean, you're an athlete yourself. You wanted to be in the NFL, right? You say you've stopped watching football. This is all too much for you. What can be done? What can change to bring you back?
I think if I see the players and the coaches and the commissioner actually stand up for what's right and say, okay, we've made our point. Now let's go out and let's respect this country. Let's respect the flag, and let's remove politics from athletics. And all I want to see is players go out and play and have a good time and enjoy the game. I don't want to see politics mixed in with athletics.
You and so many others.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's skip sports. Let's go over to the NBA for a moment. A rookie for the 76ers by the name of Ben Simmons yesterday, I believe he was in Australia. He said about the president, I think he's an idiot. If we were in Australia right now, a lot of people would call him an inappropriate word, and that's how I personally feel. He just brings more anger and hatred to the U.S. It's unneeded. You would probably admit, Brandon, that the protests on this past Sunday, when 200 players took a knee, a lot of them were in reaction to the President of the United States and the comments he had made earlier in Alabama regarding NFL players who took a knee. But to you, it's not about the president. That is always about the flag, right?
Right. I mean, I don't think the president is being divisive. I think the fact that you take a knee on the flag is you're starting division right there. And I think the president is trying to bring things back around in full circle and say, okay, we need to realize what unity means, and we need to stand for the flag and not divide ourselves by disrespecting America to push an agenda.
Yeah. I mean, quickly, you're a police officer, as I said. Your colleagues, your other police officers, what have they said about your video? I'm sure you guys talk about this behind closed doors.
Oh, yeah. Behind closed doors, in an open forum. I mean, we talk about it. I think people support what I say, and they're excited. I mean, we're like a big family. So when I'm able to talk on TV, I think it's a victory for all of us. We get a chance to express kind of how we feel. But it's been 98% positive. I haven't had a police officer say anything negatively to me about it. But, I mean, it's just the way it is. I think we're all on the same page.
All right, Brandon Tatum, an Arizona police officer, today joining us live from Tucson. Sir, thank you for your service and have a great weekend.
Yeah, what a video that
All right,
was.
you guys do the same.
All right.
Brandon, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
By the way, we should point out Brian's been moving some of the furniture here in the studio. It's a little noisy. We apologize. Brian, you need help?
He
You need
cannot
help
just
over here?
sit still ever.
All right, Brian, please, come on.
Listen, you play a game. This is fairy tale world. You suit up, you lose, you go home. Real heroes, when they lose games, they don't come back. The people who die for that flag, it ain't a game. That's real life. That's real sacrifice.
It's well said. And standing up to those who are taking a knee right now, a fed-up police officer going viral for putting what he calls pampered NFL millionaires in their places. And this morning, Arizona police officer Brandon Tatum joins us live. Officer, thank you so much for coming on this morning. We really do appreciate your time. I know it's very early in Arizona.
Yes, it is.
Well,
thank you for having me.
Of course. And I'm not sure if you even got to stay up to watch it last night, but Thursday night football, nobody took a knee. What did you think of that?
Well, I've decided that I'm not going to participate in watching football anymore as long as they continue to disrespect the flag. But it's good to hear that they're not doing it anymore, and I hope that continues.
And you were an athlete yourself, so not watching football probably is not the easiest thing to do.
Right. I mean, it's a challenge. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I love football. It's been an American sport. I play football. You know, I've had dreams of playing in the NFL, and not watching it is a decision that I was going to make. But hey, you know, I think that if they do the right thing, maybe I'll continue to watch it.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the issue here for a second. Obviously, you know, I want to be pragmatic about this. There are issues like with anything else. Nothing is perfect. No organization is perfect. There are somewhere around 1 million law enforcement officers in this country, and nobody denies that in any group that large there's going to be a few bad apples. But when somebody like Colin Kaepernick goes to practice and wears, you know, socks that depict police officers as pigs, to just lay that out and to send a message as if, you know, the entire organization of law enforcement officers are violent, have an issue. How does that make you feel as a police officer that, you know, does the job right?
Well, it's absolutely disrespectful. I mean, there's no reason to do that. There's no method to his madness. Yeah. It's just flat out disrespect, and what it's doing is it's causing police officers to be in danger. People are challenging us more, feeding off of a person who they believe is a role model, and I think it's inappropriate, and there's no place for that in any aspect of protest.
And it's totally stereotypical too, isn't it? I mean, if you take, you know, a handful of bad eggs and then you just generalize that the entire population of police officers are this way, I mean, talk about a dangerous thing to do, you know, in a country that needs police officers. We live in New York. I cannot imagine what the neighborhoods of Crown Heights, Brooklyn, you know, other neighborhoods, Brownsville, what those neighborhoods would look like if you took police officers out of there for even 2 days. Right.
It's total hypocrisy. It's total hypocrisy. These individuals, or a person like Colin Kaepernick, he wants to be treated as a fair individual. He don't want to be prejudged. You don't want people to look at him and stereotype him, and I think that he should give the same respect to law enforcement, as that we're individual people. We're people like anyone else. We go out and we do a job and we work hard, and I tell you what, we're just as disgusted as anybody else regarding those bad apples. And the stereotyping, you guys, there's, like I said, there's 1 million police officers in this country. 99.9% of you guys are doing a hell of a job. And officer, we thank you so much for coming on this morning. We do appreciate it. All right, thank you. Thank you for having me.